Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Online Store Success with me, Jody Minto. Today I have a fabulous guest for you. I have Michelle from the Outsourcing Crew joining us to share a little bit about her story as well as about how to go about hiring your first VA in your business and chat a little around some of the services that you provide, because I actually heads up use the fabulous Phoebe from the Outsourcing Crew as one of my VAs as well. So I'm really, really excited to have Michelle here today, like I said, to hear about her story in business as well as talking to some of the people listening that might be ready to hire their first VA or assistant. So welcome, Michelle. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Jody. That's a nice intro, isn't it? I feel special. So,
Oh, yes. You have an incredible story. I was reading your notes before you jumped on, and I mean, you've jumped around all over the world with your career and whatnot. And why don't you take us through a little bit about how you've landed on the sunny, beautiful Gold Coast?
well, I think we talk about this because you also live in Dubai, isn't it?
I
Previously,
did. We
yeah,
do have that in
yeah.
common. Yeah.
So I was born and raised in Manila, so I grew up very, very poor, but my mom and dad like make sure that we go to uni, and that's like one of the found like this like the reason why I started outsourcing crew as well. I really believe that if you give women opportunities, the world will be better, I think.
I love.
So I applied for a job in Dubai, but you can't really get a job in Dubai until you go there. So I went there like I think that was like 18 years ago or 19 years ago. Yeah, was flat. Dubai was flat then. There's no buildings, and
How old
my
were you then when
I
you
was
applied?
25.
Oh, you were a baby.
Yeah, I was 25. So like that's 20 years ago.
Mm.
Um, and I didn't have a job. I had $400 in my pocket. I borrowed from my grandma. And then I started looking for a job. And my background is in engineering. So my degree, I have a degree in civil engineering.
Awesome.
So, and construction was like very busy then in
Mm.
Dubai. So I got a job, stayed there for 3 years. And then this is like lucky story, and there's no social media there, no LinkedIn. I applied for a job. I want to move to Australia and New Zealand, and I
Mhm.
applied for a job online, Job Street. Imagine that. See, Job Street, no, seek.com.au and seek. And I
Right.
was offered the job, and the interview was not Zoom, it was through Skype. I remember
Oh,
this because there's no video, it's like just a call. And I
Skype's
got,
really tricky in Dubai. I think we used to
oh,
have to use like a VPN to get it to work.
yes. Yeah, I was actually like outside because the internet was not good. And I did a call for half an hour, and then they offered me the job, sent me the like like flight details. And I was so scared it might be a scam, isn't it? I was like, is it a scam or something? Then I landed in Auckland. I was in New Zealand for 3 years, and then I said, "Oh, how about Australia?" So I applied again online for a job, Australia. Again, and then I was offered a job, and I moved to Australia 13 years ago or something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Were those jobs in construction or engineering?
Yes, in
Yeah.
telco. So my specialty is in telecommunications. So
Okay.
yeah, cost optimization. Making sure that it's not over budget or optimize the cost so you don't spend too much
Yeah.
on yeah.
So how then did you go from there to the outsourcing crew?
Well, so 5, 6 years ago, so everyone must have a story like this because like I was like, oh, I'm turning 40 and I love traveling. I
Mm.
love flexibility. Of course, you gotta do 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 every
Mm.
day because you need to get paid, and sometimes you love your job. I love my job then, but then I said, oh, is this what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
So, and I started looking online, and I was like, oh, what's a virtual assistant? And then I met a few women where my mom is from, the small town where my mom is from and where my family is from, and then I heard stories that people can like work online, and I was like, sure,
Mm.
that's a good idea, isn't it? Then I started like joining Facebook groups. That is like the best one, I think, when you're starting like to think about starting a business.
Mm.
Be in amongst those people who already done it before,
Yeah.
literally. So I asked questions. I was like posting questions there every day. I went to YouTube, learned things, and then I hired two people in the Philippines. And our first client was like an insurance broker. All we had to do is like do data entry for him. So my VAs, my team was just
Yeah.
doing data entry. And I kid you not, we even pretended we know Alibaba when I don't know Alibaba. So I had a call with a second client. She's an e-commerce, she owns an e-commerce brand, and she was talking to us about sourcing in China, Alibaba, and I was like, yeah, I know Alibaba. So you just fake it until you make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then after the call, we started like looking at what is Alibaba actually. So started from there, but for the first 3 years in business, I was doing it as a side hustle,
Okay.
3.5 years. So I
Yeah.
was doing 10 hours a week, side hustling it, and then I was doing 40 hours a week doing my full-time job. And it was exciting but very stressful because your calendar, I don't know if you know, Microsoft Outlook and Google Calendar doesn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
I've tried my best. So I was like, my full-time job books, let's say, a meeting at 9 o'clock, and then
Mm.
a client will book a 9 o'clock meeting. I was like, oh, where do I go? I have to decline the client's meeting. I have to do my full-time job because that's what pays me. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I
Yeah.
started.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I think so many people can resonate with that. I started my fashion brand on the side as a side hustle while I was working full time in Dubai. And because of the visa laws in Dubai, my employer was sponsoring me, and you can't actually have another job because they are sponsoring and paying for you to be in the country and for your airfares, backwards forwards, and all of your like whatever, all of those obligations that a sponsor has. So I had to keep it very much on the quiet, and yeah, I remember even just in the corporate world, they love their Microsoft Outlook, but yeah, I love that, Google, yeah, it just doesn't work. It doesn't talk to each other. But it's such a familiar story for people starting, as a side hustle when they've still got their job. And I think it's something a lot of people they sort of say, when's the right time to make the switch? When's the right time to quit that day job? When did you decide, right, I'm safe, like this business has gotten some traction, like I'm okay if I quit my job?
Yeah, that's actually my question too for the first 3 years. Because I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh, when I'm gonna quit. But I think it's personal preference. First of all,
Mm,
I really love my job then. I really love it. I love the people that I work with. Not all of them, I'll be honest. But I love most of them. I love
yeah.
the challenge, and that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. So I really love it. And then I thought, is this gonna be just a side hustle for me? That was the plan. It's just a side hustle. And then COVID happened, and I was stuck in the Philippines. I was literally stuck there for 16 months
Oh wow.
during COVID. And that means I met my team members. I work with them all day, every day. We went out for dinner, going out for picnic and things like that, barbecues. But then I then I get to meet a lot of women in business that we work with, the clients that we work with, the networking, and I thought, I think I like this. I want to do this full time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's when I said, oh, because every day I learn something. Who would have thought I learn how to create like a website
Yeah.
in your 40s, isn't it? Like, how do you connect this shit from this tech and this? Oh, it's not working, and I
Yeah.
can do it by just watching YouTube.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like challenging. And if you've been doing the same kind of work for 20 years, and then you get to do something like that's exciting, challenging, and you feel like your brain is working again, I felt like, oh, I think I'm gonna work towards um, quitting my full-time job and doing this full-time. And I felt like it happened in mid 22.
Okay.
So I'm almost 3 years in, not counting if you don't count, and I thought I'll work towards earning to a level that I'll be comfortable. And then I
Yeah.
quit my job and I put in my notice for 45 days. And I said, I'm out of here, guys. That's it.
It's a scary but also very exciting day, the day that
Oh,
we finally put in that resignation. I'm out. I'm
I'm
going to
out, guys.
do thing.
And they ask you, would you like to do a part time? I was like, no, that means quit. Is that not clear in that? Because
Yeah.
I will revise that for you if that's not clear.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love it. It's so good. I think the thing is, it's nice to have that income to help you build and launch your business. I think especially for people that have product based businesses, you do need the cash. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
to develop those products and create your first collection or product offering, whatever that might be, and get that website built and things like that. So it's a great place to be when you do have that income coming in that you can help it helps you funnel some of that money towards the
True.
startup. But then you do absolutely get to a point where you think, if I don't go all in my business at this point, it's always just going to be a part-time thing.
Yes.
It needs dedication and time and energy. So it's a really familiar story that I'm sure so many people can relate to. So tell us what is the outsourcing crew exactly?
Outsourcing crew is your not your average virtual assistant agency, so I'm very proud to say that. So we have we hire and train virtual assistants in the Philippines and match them with business owners in Australia, UK, US. We work with e-commerce businesses,
Mhm.
service-based businesses, simple admin work or tasks to more complicated work like editing podcasts, setting up funnels, adding pages, landing pages, designing it, creating newsletters for our clients, social media content. So like when I was talking, because we did a rebrand a few weeks ago, and when I was talking to the branding strategist Haley, I told her that it's about like changing the lives of our clients and our team as well. It's like
Yes,
we're empowering both. Like
both sides.
it's not just for our clients. I can't really explain it with just focusing on our clients without our team, or just our team and without our clients. So I really love the connection between our VAs and our clients as well. It's like it's like working from across the globe, but like they're part of like one team,
Yep.
and they're changing both like lives, I
I
think.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And you're changing lives by creating these careers
Yeah.
and opportunities for these incredibly bright ladies in the
Yes.
Philippines. I know I just often and I think this comes from being like when you're a sole business owner for so long and you're like, I know how everything works inside and out. Like if I need to outsource or get some help and support with these different tasks, but no one knows it like I do. And I'm sort of don't want to give it away because it's, it might be really confusing or too difficult or whatever. And I've had a number of tasks where I've thought that and thought, I'll just keep doing it myself. And then just thought, you know what, I'm going to just ask Phoebe if she thinks she might be able to help with these things. And she's like, no problem, and Phoebe's even written my newsletter for the past 3 weeks. So if you're on my newsletter list, the last three emails were courtesy of Phoebe. Like incredible,
Wow.
And I think that's testament to you around hiring, these really bright, capable, engaged people to help business owners like myself that are flexible and adaptable because there is so many different moving parts and we often are just kind of throwing them something in Canva and then throwing them something over here and completely different opposite ends. And I think like I said, it's a testament to you for being really vigorous in who it is that you employ, because I know people like me and many business owners really really rely on their support. So it's great. And I follow you guys on Instagram and we'll share your Instagram in the show notes and things too. And you guys look like you have a whole heap of fun. There's always lots of reels and dancing and eating out and fun stuff like that. So you've obviously created a great culture as well for these people, for them in the Philippines. So well done to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think key part of what we do is, for personally for me, I'm always like big on this, and even before they join us in the interviews, I interview our VAs, our applicants. Personally, I don't think there's any founder in like any agencies that does that now. I personally
Mm,
interview them, and culture is quite big for me. Community is big for me. I always tell our team that you're part of community because you can always like I told them like they can always get a client directly,
yeah.
and they're part of outsourcing crew because we're building a community so they can be supported. They don't have to do it on their own, like
Yes.
our clients as well. Like they don't have to do it on their own. Like that's what you do as well, isn't it? Like as business owners, we think sometimes we can do it on our own,
Yeah.
but it's like doing business is better when you have support.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Support and just other people around you. I'm find, that I obviously work from home. This is my little office. And while that's awesome, most of the time I do actually find I get really lonely. And I often think, I should be going and booking a seat at the local co-working space just to have some sort of human interaction. And I do miss that side of working, a job and in corporate is those, being around other people, just those little lunchtime chats and the annual Christmas party and stuff
Yes.
like that. So it is great that you've created that for those ladies, and it is really appealing. I think for people to be a part of something bigger and have that their support, and they obviously become friends with each other and things like that too.
Yeah, one of them is getting married next week, and she's invited the whole team. Not
Oh,
everyone is coming because I said
yeah.
that's like 50 people. She's like, no, not everyone is coming, Michelle. But yeah, she's getting married. Our main social media marketing
Wow.
VA, a little bit, the one in our reels. So she's getting married. So we even sponsored a surprise hens do for her in our
Amazing.
office. I said just cover computers and things like that, and you can have a party. So they had a party last week.
So good. I love that. I love that so much. Tell me, Michelle, what do you think, for someone that's listening here that is currently doing all of the things in their business and thinking about hiring their first VA, what are maybe like the top three tasks you'd suggest starting with outsourcing and getting help with?
I think depends on the if it's an e-commerce brand,
Hmm.
the first three things that they should probably delegate or outsource to a VA, customer service.
Hmm.
So we shouldn't be like when you're managing your own inbox in Instagram and customer support inbox, sometimes you take it personally. If you're the brand owner, you bloody like will ruin your day. If you open, let's say, I don't know, your Instagram and your email inbox customer support at say outsourcingcrew.com, and there's like someone there or an email there that will ruin your day,
Yeah.
that really ruins everything for you, isn't it? As a business owner, you should take it personally.
Yeah.
So if you can create a manual on
Hmm.
someone on how to manage your inbox,
Yeah.
then that's the first thing you should delegate. And I know a few quite successful business owners, they don't even look at their inbox, like
Yeah.
those inbox anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing to go. The second is if Canva is not your strongest suit or
Yes.
strongest skill, for the love of God, if you already have a brand strategy, templates, and everything, give it away. Because this is
Yeah.
what I discovered. I feel this as well. Like I was talking to a client a few weeks ago, and we're like, do you know when you're doing it? Say you're doing Canva design and things like that, and there's 100,000 of templates and other designs. As a
Yeah.
business owner, we go into a rabbit hole of, oh, that's a nice thing. Oh, I'll add that thing. Oh, well, that's a new feature. Then you go again, and then 2 hours
Yes.
later, you're not finished with what you started because you're like distracted because you're like you want to improve and make it more perfect than what you
Yeah.
should have done in the first place.
Yeah.
So, and but
I
if
love
you
that.
if you got instruction, give it up to someone. You've got the branding done anyway. They can do it.
Yeah.
The third one is processing orders. If
Yeah.
you have like that's something that it's easy to do. A lot of our
Yeah.
VAs do that right now. One of our VAs actually, I couldn't believe this because I'm proud of her. One of our clients have a drop shipping business, and
Okay.
she's got 10 suppliers. So different logistics, different payment terms, different everything, isn't it? Denise, our VA, she managed that for the client for more than 18 months.
Amazing.
And she created SOPs on her own terms because that's quite difficult for me to explain. But she
Yeah.
did it, and I was like, how the hell do that?" But imagine if you, because if you're still doing that right now
Mhm.
as a business owner, that means you're getting pulled from one side to another every single time there's an order, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's some like very time consuming. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And customer service is a big one. I get very, I call it ragey. Um, and the thing with customer service is that it's not just the inbox, it's also on socials, like you said, DMs and things like that. And for e-commerce business owners, a lot of them are those customer service inquiries is where is my shipment? What is your refund policy? How do I get a refund? They're pretty basic things like that that you can create some canned responses that a VA can cut and paste and adjust accordingly for that particular customer service query. So they're quite easy. And yes, I know, like, when a brand owner, or even as in my case a business coach, if someone like asks, like, they want to cancel or they want a refund, you do take it personally. So having that first line, the
Yes.
first on the defense line, helps take some of that emotion out of it. And for many of my clients and students, I always recommend, as their business grows, the first thing is definitely like the customer service, creating those canned responses, taking themselves out of it. They shouldn't be the first person to open it. They should only be having things escalated to them if there's like a
Yes.
curly customer
Yeah.
service question or something like that. Because yeah, a lot of it is and just nonsense. I had someone on my mastermind call, one of my clients today, say she sent out like a fun sort of tongue in cheek email, and then she got all like kind of this backlash, people going, oh, this is rubbish and tricky, and like you're trying to trick us and all this sort of nonsense, right? So having a VA, they can just go, oh, so sorry, we didn't mean to upset, blah 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 blah. So definitely customer service, definitely Canva. Oh my gosh, Canva is like a black hole of time and productivity for business owners that just want to jump in and create one little thing, and next thing you know, 6 hours has passed, and all these like things that none of them are very good. And so that stuff is definitely something that's worth outsourcing. And yeah, the processing of orders, especially if you've got like a complicated system around drop shipping and things like that. But again, even those queries around where's my refund, or
Yes.
processing, refunds and things like that. And I mean, there's just so many. I know a lot of my e-commerce ladies get really bogged down in creating those weekly emails, from Klaviyo,
Yeah.
MailChimp, so getting some help just to design those and send those out is something I'd recommend too, because again, when we're so close to it as the business owner, you can spend so much time just like tweaking this and
Oh,
tweaking
yeah.
that.
Oh, I should put this on the left, on the right. Jesus
I
Christ, that no
know,
one cares if it's in the left on the right, you
I know.
know.
Just get it done and get it out there without spending the whole day doing it. So I love that. I love that. And with the outsourcing crew, with your services, how does it work exactly? Like, is there you buy hours, or you sign up to like a monthly or weekly number of hours? What does it look like?
So we don't require 12 months fixed contract. So we require 15 hours minimum every week for the
Okay.
first 3 months. And then
Yeah.
after that, it's a month-on-month contract. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, 15 hours a week, if you can fill that pretty quickly
Oh
if you
God, yeah.
often once you start the ball rolling and go, oh, I need help with 1, 2, 3, 4. Next thing you know, oh, actually, I've got 45 things on my list that I've been
Yeah.
wanting to do for quite some time. So perhaps you can help me with that. I know for me, for Phoebe's been helping me compile a list of other guest experts like yourself that I can reach out to and chat with on the podcast as well. So things like that is really, really helpful too. So tell me, I mean, coming back to your experience as an entrepreneur, have you had any real pivotal moments, either good or bad, that you feel have perhaps helped get you to where you are today, or helped you in your trajectory, or even shifted direction?
I think so 2 years ago, before I quit my full-time job, I was really like, I can't quit it because I was like supporting my mom because she was sick in the Philippines, and healthcare in the Philippines is not cheap if you want to do the properly, right? So, and then I'm I said I can't quit this, but I want to quit in a year's time.
Hmm.
Then I went home, got stuck in COVID, and I met the ladies that works at outsourcing crew.
Yeah.
And one of them is Lorice. So she was my third hire, I think. And she's an e-commerce expert. So she's great. And her story really like was eye opener for me. Plus another lady called Giselle. So she's my number 6 hire, I think. They're still with
Okay.
us, working with
Amazing.
us. They're young moms in the Philippines. And because they're from a regional area, to be able to earn more money or decent wage, they have to go to Manila, which is the capital.
Hmm.
That means it's like you have to leave your young child back in your hometown and you'll see them, I don't know, once in 3 months.
Oh,
So imagine leaving your 6-month-old
yeah.
girl to do that. Because these girls are really freaking smart. I'm not kidding. They can build websites, and I don't know what else, like how they do things, but
Yeah.
they'll just share things like, Michelle, how do you know you can do this in Klaviyo? I was like, I don't know, because I don't know Klaviyo. Things
Yeah.
like that. And they're very like driven, but they were earning like, I don't know, like $15 a day.
Wow.
They're so smart, freaking driven,
Yeah.
really like hardworking. And they told me when they started working with us, they can now drop off their kids to school.
Oh,
They pay for their kids' education. They're very empowered. They know that no one can take advantage of them anymore because they can, like, take care of themselves financially. And that's
yeah.
something like that hit me 2 years ago. I was like, fuck, I know I want to help women in LGBTQs in the Philippines, but what hit me is like, it's really like a big change. Plus, their kids sees that. So
Yes.
that's like generational, isn't it? If you see your mom doing
Well, doing well.
so well, and she's confident, she's empowered, that like I want to be like that also when I grow up, so something like
Yeah.
that. And then over the last 2 years, they'll come to me and just message me and say, Michelle, I bought a car, one of
Wow.
them.
Yeah.
So that's pivotal for me. That's like that helped me, like, okay, I can actually do this kind of thing. And then for me, in the last year, I actually like can choose if I want to work 40, 50 hours a week, or I want to
Mm,
work 20 hours a week. And that's big for me
good.
because I was thinking, I don't know, maybe because I'm 45 now, you feel like you've got so many realization. When you're in your 20s, who gives a flying F, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, I can actually choose to chase things or just be happy where I am, right? Like you have that option. It's so, I don't know, but I think if there's one thing that's really amazing about being a business owner is that choice that you could make for yourself,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So that's
The freedom.
pivotal for me, really realizing, shit, I can actually, I don't know, start work at 10,
Yeah.
do Pilates at 8, start work at 10,
Yeah.
and still be able to make money, then help others. That's
Yeah.
quite amazing for me.
Yeah. That's
Um,
incredible.
and then 6 months ago, I was so I was so stressed. I was like, shit, we're growing too fast, blah blah. I panicked, so I hit the pause button, and
Mm.
I thought it's quite scary to do, but I encourage business owners to hit a pause button sometimes, like especially if there's like if you want to grow, you want to reassess
Yeah.
priorities.
Yeah.
There's no shame in saying I want to pause a bit and
Yeah.
regroup.
Absolutely.
Helps a
Yeah.
lot.
What did hitting the pause button look like for you? Was that not taking on any new clients or?
So we paused in November last year for 2 months, and we didn't take on many clients. We only took the clients that were already in the pipeline that time. We can't say
Yeah.
no and say, well, sorry, we can't take you on now. But we
Yeah.
took them on. We didn't hire any new team members.
Yeah.
And then what we did is, my God, 6 weeks. It was painful, but it was worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We went through detailed audit of our business, literally.
Okay.
What do I do every day, every freaking morning, every Sunday? What do I do?
Yeah.
And is that something I want to do, or is that helping me? Where do I want to be in February?
Mm.
And what do I need? Who do I need? What do I need to be there in February? So that was really great. It's like spreadsheets after spreadsheets. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but I think at this point, I just had a meeting with the operations team this morning, and we're all like checking, oh, we've done that. That's cool. This one we didn't do. We might have
Okay.
to do that by June. So that
Yeah.
was really great feeling that we could take a pause and
Yeah.
reassess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. I've done a couple of pauses in my businesses. Well, for my coaching business, I actually, yeah, completely put it on ice. I paused it. I actually, as Island Co, my fashion brand, took off, and at that point, I'd had an office with staff, and I was also then trying to run this 7-figure a year fashion brand as well as like doing coaching for other people, and had people in my mastermind that I had to like, I just was like, I can't do both anymore, and put it on pause and had to refund people and all this sort of stuff with my coaching clients. But sometimes you just need that space. And for me, for Island Co, I got to a point after it was probably like 8 years of just going, I don't want to do this anymore. And I put it on permanent pause for a while. I actually shut it down. I was like, we did like the whole email blast to everyone. I was like, shutting down, sold down all the stock, let go of all the staff, all of those kind of things. I was like, I'm done. And then only kind of reopened it because of recommendations from a business broker saying, look, you could sell this business. You don't just need to walk away from it. But at that point, I was so burnt out and so exhausted. I was like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
But anyway, I ended up returning the lights back on and running the business myself, just with one VA and a third party fulfillment, and then sold the business. Luckily, it was only a couple of months before I sold the business, because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to get to that point in our business. If we've grown a business or a brand for so long, I highly recommend taking a pause if you're starting to feel like you're feeling burnt out, or you're sort of not finding the joy in it anymore, versus getting to the very end and like doing what I do and just going, I'm done, I'm out. See you later. I can't take this anymore. So yeah, if anyone's listening, you have our permission to take a beat, take a pause, and just have a little rest and recoup. Well, it's such an incredible story, Michelle. You've done, amazing, incredible things. It's been such a huge shift from one career to another. Not only do you provide an incredible service to business owners like myself and many others, but you're also changing lives for your team in the Philippines. So, well done.
Thank
What
you.
an incredible, incredible story. And thank you so much for sharing it with us today and joining us.
Well, thank you also for clients like you, because I think it's been an amazing journey. Because I really, I really think the support of women in business in Australia. I shared this to my team in the Philippines. I said, I haven't seen it before. Of
Oh,
course, it's
really?
not perfect, but
Yeah.
I cannot imagine as a normal person here in Australia, you can actually build a business.
Mm,
I'm not saying it's very easy. Of course, there's challenges, but it's easier than, I think, if you're like in the Philippines as a normal person. Like there's not a lot of opportunities like that, and there's so many people here just willing to just like support you. We have people referring us, and I don't know them at all. So let's
wow.
say a client will, like a potential client will book a meeting, a call, and then I will talk to them and said, "How did you find out about us?" And I was like, they'll mention a name. I was like, I actually never heard about her before.
I love
Is it? Is it? How cool is
that. Word of
that? I was
mouth.
like,
How good.
yeah. And then I said, I need the name because I need to message. I want to message them and personally thank them. And I think it wouldn't have, it we won't be in this position right now if not for all of the clients that trusted us, because we're not a big agency. I'm not
Yeah.
like a known brand or anything like that. We don't have fancy systems.
Yeah.
you know our website was like built by me and Larice, my teammate, 5 years ago. And but people trusted us
Yeah.
with their business. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not like they're trusting us to do something they don't remotely care about. It's like their baby, and they're
Yeah.
trusting us. So I'm
Yeah.
quite chuffed about it, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, but you provide a great service, and it's twofold your business. You're providing a great service and you're providing, this great opportunity for women in the Philippines. So
Oh,
it's an incredible business. You should be really, really proud.
thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to, like I said, put all of your details in the show notes. If you are a small business owner right now going, oh my gosh, I am exhausted, I'm burnt out, I'm wearing all of the hats, I could really use a helping hand, reach out to Michelle and her team. I know, the process was fantastic for me. I sent, I think, a list through of the ideal tasks that I'd love to get help with. And you sent me then through some resumes of some
Yeah.
of your team. And then we had interview calls and got to know each other to find, the right person to have on board. So it's a really easy and thorough process. So be sure to reach out to Michelle if you do need some support in your business.
Thank you. Yes, follow us on Instagram because we're quite fun there too.
You are so funny. What's your handle on Instagram?
At Outsourcing Crew.
At Outsourcing Crew. Okay, awesome. And like I said, I'll share it all in the links here as well. Well, thank you for joining me, Michelle. You're doing an incredible, incredible thing. And I love working with you guys, and I can't wait to chat more later down the track and watch your business continue to grow
Thank
and
you.
flourish.
Thank you very much, Jody. Really, thank you for the opportunity.
No
Thanks.
problem at all. All right. See you later.
See ya.